Hi, Barry. It's great to see you. Barry, we're really proud and delighted for you. You've just been awarded an OAM this week, but some of us don't know what that is. Could you tell us about it a little bit?
Certainly. The Order of Australian Medal is an award that is offered to people who have generated some form of service, either through the nation, the state, or a community, and the Governor-General deems them worthy of such an award. And in my specific case, the award was for and is for service to education, which I'm sure doesn't come as a surprise to anybody that knows me, because I have been an educator for over 40 years, all of which was in this local area.
Right, so I think another significant thing to your church family is that you're a Christian. And so when did you become a Christian?
Two-part answer. I made a commitment to Christ in my confirmation class when I was 14 years of age, and I was sitting in the second back pew at St. Stephen's Anglican Church in Penrith. But I think in truth, in hindsight, my faith became activated in my early 20s when I was a little bit older than a 14-year-old, and I realised that being a Christian wasn't part-time. And at that stage, I really did take Jesus as my Lord and Saviour. And many, many years later, that is still a statement of truth.
And did your faith influence your choice of profession?
Bluntly, the answer to that is no, because I decided in about year 5 that I wanted to be a teacher. And I was a very fortunate young man that my schooling experience from kindergarten to year 12 at the local public school and the local high school was just a wonderful experience every single day. And I watched what teachers did and the impact that they had on me and other students that I played with and fellowship with and just enjoyed. And I thought, that is a noble profession. And I think I'd like to be a teacher. And later on, when I thought about it, probably more seriously than I did in year 5, but by the time I finished year 12, I realised that if we want engineers, if we want clergy, if we want nurses, if we want plumbers, they all have to be taught. And I think, again, I say to you that to this day, teaching is a very noble profession.
And how did being a Christian, like you were involved in, I think you started working at a public school, is that right, when you left?
Yes.
Were you at college, university? But then you went into Christian education. So why invest yourself into Christian education? Okay,
preempting that, I had 11 wonderful years. A quarter of my teaching career was actually in the state system, both in a local state high school where I, quote, cut my teeth as an inexperienced first-year out teacher, and I revelled in just teaching children there. It was St Mary's High School when it was not a senior school. And I then was fortunate enough to pick up a consultancy with the department. So I had 3 years, which was the maximum time allowed, to teach teachers how to teach, how to teach better. And I revelled in that. So why did I jump ship, so to speak, and go to the independent sector? I didn't go willingly. I didn't go willingly at all. God called me. God called me 3 times. And the first 2 times I ignored him. And he didn't let up. And he insisted that I resign from a job I loved and go to a job that he wanted me to go to. So he sent me to a paddock in North Penrith. a muddy, horrible paddock,
Right.
with a shed and a house. And that is St Paul's Grammar School now. But I was there the first year it went on site, and I had 14 years there as the deputy principal. And again, I loved every minute of being in that environment. And yes, it was a Christian school with a very clear Christian ethos and a framework in which kids understood what the school stood for. And then in 1997, God called me away from there and said, I want you to go to another paddock with another house and no school. And I thought, why do you keep doing this to me? But he did. And I became the headmaster of Penrith Anglican. Our first students came in 1998, 132 very wonderful parents who were game to send their children to a school that didn't exist.
Very brave.
And I was headmaster there for 17 years. And I retired in 2014. And a school that started with 132 children started with a very clear framework that was Christian, overtly Christian. The motto of the school was to serve Christ. And it was that in 1998. It was that when I retired in 2014. And I know for a fact it is still that in 2022. The framework, the ethos has not changed.
It's very exciting to see how you can embed that in the life of a school, but the school is made up of children, students and teachers and families, and that's part of what they know as part of their school experience.
It was, the school was and still is open to people of all faiths and open to people who have no faith. But everyone understands that if they come to the school makes no apology whatsoever for our belief in the sovereignty of Christ in our lives and in the lives of every child that comes into our care. And we were just floored, and we still are, that non-Christian people will choose to send their children to such a school. And I think one of the reasons is that our world is very grey and there's no absolutes anymore. And so children are growing up in a world where they have no certainty in many things about what is right, what is wrong, the consequences of what is wrong, and the benefits of doing what is right. And so people are choosing a school where the framework is very clear. There are absolutes in life. There is truth and there is untruth. And there's a security in that for everyone, especially when Christian teachers are employed in such schools as PAC.
Yep. Okay, so you've retired from your role as the headmaster at PAC, but you're still very much a Christian and very much part of church life in our Mulgoa and now Silverdale congregations. How do you think your OAM will change how you walk your faith journey from now on?
The answer to that is a simple no, it won't. I've already been ribbed by lots of people. Do we call you sir, and all this sort of stuff. The comments I have received online, some of them are very, very funny. But the truth of the matter is, it is transient. I'm not at all dismissing the value of it, and I'm humbled and I'm delighted that I received it, but I received it for myself, I received it for my wife, I received it for my deputy, Mr. Jeff Voller, who is also a member of our church. He and I did, I think, if I can say on the record, made a pretty good team. And for all the teachers and non-teaching staff that I work with. So this award has been earned by a lot of people. But will it change where I walk to from now? On the morning after, so Thursday morning, my youngest son and his wife and their two young children who are 3 and 1, and their dog. And Pauline and I went to the beach. They took the dog and, of course, left the two children in the car with their grandparents.
Yes.
So we occupied a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old for an hour and a half both ways. And we played, let's see if we can find a red car on the M4. And so did I come back down to earth? Within 24 hours, I was back down looking for a red car on the M4 to keep my 3-year-old grandson occupied in the back of the car. Will the OAM change me? No, it won't change me. I would hope not. The euphoria and the phone calls and the messages and the emails, they will die away very quickly. I went to Southlands News Agency yesterday and I'm on the front cover of the Weekender. But as my cousin was happy to remind me, that cover tomorrow will be the wrapping for fish and chips. And in a sense, he is right. And I have no problem with that. I was thinking when you asked me to Zoom, what would I say essentially about where to from here for me? And I was reminded of 2 lines out of an old hymn that we've sung for years and years, and that's the hymn Rock of Ages. And in that we read and we sing, nothing in my hand I bring, simply to thy cross I cling. And for me, that's my walk. From now, I would pray with God's grace and mercy is where I will be till the day I die.
Yep. Well, thank you so much, Barry. And, you know, congratulations again. But more than that, it's a great prayer, isn't it? That Rock of Ages, it's a great prayer that we can have personally and that we can have for one another, that we cling to the cross of Christ. So thank you so much.
That's all right. Can I just say, particularly for the students who are ex-students of mine and to the parents or ex-parents of PAC, yes, I was the headmaster, and when I was the headmaster, they would have always seen me in a collar and a tie and a suit. Well, tonight, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh.
I'm not the headmaster anymore, so I don't have to wear a suit and a tie. But I wore the collar just for the interview. Good night.
Thanks, Barry.